Good evening, guys. Welcome to Free Flame Thoughts. For those who don't already know, new viewers, my name is Silva and I am your host for tonight. Today's topic of the hour is entitled The Relationship We Have with Others versus the Relationship We Have with Ourselves. Bless up subs, Substance and Page Reconnections and Sandy. Right, gate crash, guys. Gate crash means that any of you lot can decide, one moment, Sandy, any of you lot can decide to decide you want to come on the live and have your say. It's Friday, doesn't have to be so serious. Bring out your drinks, bring out your smokes. Let's kick back and have a moment, laugh, chill, and reason. How about that? Yeah? So Sandy, bless up yourself, subs. Let me see, Sandy, where are you? All right, let's get straight into it. Hi, Sandy.
That better?
That's a lot better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So just recapping, Sandy, it's Gate Crash Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What are you drinking? Show me your glass. What are you smoking?
You know I'm drinking and you know I'm smoking.
What are you drinking, girl?
I'm drinking wine. I'm keeping it soft.
Oh, I'm drinking vodka and cranberry. And what am I smoking? Hope. Nothing. I'm smoking hope.
Hope.
I'm a non-smoker, so I'm smoking hope. Okay?
Smoking,
But that's the mood I'm in today. I hope I'll end up being all right. Yeah? It's been one of those crazy. I'm always on a roller coaster. Anyway, so today's topic of the hour is the relationship we have with others versus the one we have with ourselves. It's Gate Crash Friday. So guys, if you feel like there's a moment where we're reasoning and you want to come in, Sandy will get chucked off and you can come in and we can rotate all night. Yeah? Sandy,
yeah.
how would you describe the relationship you have with yourself? Let's reason. Let's talk about that.
Oh my gosh, tumultuous. It can be very up and down. Sometimes I like myself, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I love myself, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think I can be the worst person on this earth, and sometimes I think I'm the most beautiful person on this earth. I like all those sides of myself, but irrespective of me liking those sides of myself, there are times I still don't like certain parts of myself. So that's a definite. I think I find it very difficult when people say, "Oh, I love me and I love me," but yet they display parts of themselves that even they, when they sit back down and check themselves, really, you know what, that weren't right. And I don't think that's an issue but at least you can acknowledge that weren't right. That's what I think people need to do, is acknowledge the fact that they've kind of crossed the line, even within themselves. They've crossed the line within themselves. You can love yourself, that's not an issue. But you can't love yourself when you're doing destructive things and when you're being out and out nasty. And you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, when you...
I do. Well, in terms of I'm going to just brief on this and we can go deeper a little bit later on that one bar that I'm always saying to people. It has become a positive, I must say the word positive trend to talk about love thyself. Every podcast, every post is about loving yourself. And the reality is, I think a lot of it's bullshit, personally. And the reason I'm going to say it's a lot of it's bullshit, if you assess how you treat yourself, your habits, your dietary, your addictions, it's a long list of things that are self-sabotage. Whether that's smoking, drinking, oversexing, whatever it is, if you were the epitome of love thyself, you would not do and take things that harm you. That's even things that we watch or read or people it's a long list of things. So that's why I say it's a positive trend, because it's an affirmation that we can grow to. However, I talk about liking thyself, because I don't think you can go from not liking thyself to loving thyself. No one talks about the dislike to the like.
Do
you know what I mean? Nobody talks about that. You hear all these massive seminars about loving thyself. Talk about when you were down and out and you was on your way and how you transitioned to the love. Keep it real.
Well, but even after...
Nobody talks about that.
Even after I find that people have done that work and put that time in, still doesn't deter from the fact that there are some times when you falter. We all falter, you know. No matter what we do, we all falter. There can be the best guru out there telling you about love and how you should live your life and how you should treat a person and how you should be in a relationship. until you're in the relationship, you don't know how you're going to treat it. I don't care what you say. I've seen it. I've seen the gurus themselves do it. Have you noticed sometimes these gurus are married about 12 times?
That's funny. That is funny.
Get it right. When did you get it right? And you're telling me how to do it. And
do you know what? I do believe people can share testimonies. Yeah. I do believe, but let me go back so we keep track on. I'm gonna stick to the part of hi Soldier Boy, how you doing, my little poet? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, everyone. It's Gatecrash Friday. You can come in and out as you please. If we are talking, you want to have your say, send me a request, send me a message in the inbox and come straight in. So, okay, Sandy, let me keep on the focus. If we're talking about in this moment, the relationship we have with ourselves, we can talk about the ones we have with others slightly after. You spoke about it being like a turbulence. Did you say tremendous turbulent relationship? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were to give it a name, though, what would it be? For example, when you're dating somebody, you say dating, boyfriend, fiance, husband. Would there be a name to describe the type of relationship in one word that you have with yourself?
Okay. I don't know how to describe the relationship I have with oneself, but what I try, and I think I spoke to you about this, and I will say it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been in a relationship for a very long time, and that's because I don't particularly like myself in a relationship.
But that's coming after. That's the one you have with others. This part is about the one you have with yourself.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like myself.
Okay.
In a relationship, I don't like how I can be.
So as a solo person in your solo state, yes. Let's focus on that part of us, because I feel like then we can have a verbal climax to the difference between who we are as a solo individual to who we are when we're in a relationship. People would say they're the same person. I don't think you're exactly the same person. Yeah.
They cross over because it is.
They cross over. There's compromises. There's challenges.
Yeah, they cross over. When I'm in don't get me wrong, when I've been in some relationships I've been in, I don't know if you could believe this, but I'm very submissive in a relationship. It's a role that I like to be.
In which category? Just in the bedroom or in general?
I like to be a person that's I like to cater to the person I'm with.
Yeah,
okay?
Me too.
I like to look after the person I'm with. That person can tell me their favorite chocolate is a double-decker chocolate. Believe you me, they would have that when they come here or when they come to visit me. I'm very attentive to that person in that way. That doesn't lose anything of who I am, but there are sometimes, but later on in life with other relationships, I noticed that I lost myself and I stopped being who I was. I think maybe what happened was because certain relationships ended, I believe that I shouldn't have been that. I shouldn't have been myself and start being something else that wasn't me, you know? So I think maybe that's what it is when I said I judge.
All right, so as you're more geared to talking about who you are in a relationship, let's go back to front, because that's where you're geared to. You're going back there. So that's where your passion is. So let's sit right there. And because it's Gatecrash Friday, please feel free to turn the tables on me, because I'm not interviewing as such. We can just keep it moving, have our drinks. You can ask me what you want also. You can turn the tables, which I know you love to do on me, Sandy, my friend. Yeah. So what you want to ask me? Come on. This is your one golden moment.
My one.
And to everybody else too.
My one. No, darling, I can ask you anytime I want anything. I want, you know that.
What you say?
You said to me, is this my one golden moment? Or is it somebody else's one golden moment? You know me, I'm going to ask you whatever I want, when I want.
Is there anything at this point that you would like to ask me? Let me open the gates to that, then we can persist.
Okay, you know what I'd like to know, because you come across as a very I'm not going to say dominant, because you have said that you can be alpha female. Okay? That
is me, which speaks for itself, if I like it or not. Yeah.
When you're in a relationship, is that how you are? Are you alpha female? And has anybody ever compromised that alpha female within you?
Great question. All right. I never deny who I am as a person. And I actually shock people. Because I can meet you on the first day and tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly straight up about me. They're like, rah, this is where I'm supposed to be impressed. No, 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 no. This is what you're getting, and it lasts forever. As long as I don't change with people. So I would tell you the negatives, the positives, and what you can anticipate about me, and how I upgrade and downgrade you real quick when you don't move accordingly. I'm being real. That's how I am. Enough man scared of me. I'm not going to lie, because I'm being real. But as wisdom speaks, that's when we have to mellow the ego at times and the pride. And if we analyze our tendencies, which we classify, especially as the Black woman, strength. No, ladies, enough of that is hardness. Let me just break this down to you. Okay? So I'm going to go back onto that in a minute, but it's going to make sense right here. So I am very alpha female. I am now choosing to dilute it at certain times because there's a time and a place for it. Hi, TG. Yeah, there's a time and a place for it. But because I am that way, I always say it's going to take a very strong and excessive masculine energy to keep me entertained and sustained. Because that's where I have a lot of problems. That's the only areas I have problems with guys. Because obviously they have to be triple stronger than I am. Or I get bored real quick and I'm like, what do I need you for? I'm not going to lie.
Person, what I'm thinking is, does a person need to have to be triple strength than you? Kind of like what you said.
But I'm telling you what I need as a woman. You have to listen to what I'm saying. You ask me a question, I'm giving you my answer. And that's the thing. That's the thing you need to understand about me. If someone asks me a question, I can't give you the answer that people want or they think should be. Right? Yeah.
That's not where I'm going. That's not
For me, I'm telling you what keeps me home.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, has there ever been a time in a relationship where there's men that can be,
but I haven't met that man in years.
No, this is the question, honey, because that doesn't differ from who you are. What I'm asking doesn't differ from who you are.
Speak up, Sandy. Speak up for us a little bit.
Can't you hear me? Oh, sorry, babe.
That's a bit better.
Okay, let me see. Maybe the volume's
Before we persist, have you got clarity in your question? Because it's important to get clarity. Because
what I've tried to ask is not to. This is not to do. This still has to do with you, but it's to do with the relationship and how you've dealt with it as yourself. Because sometimes we can, like you said, we can talk, but you've told people exactly. You've told the person.
I don't play. I come as I am. Really, I do.
Right now, has anybody tried not to how can I put it? I'm not necessarily to match, but to be. Has anybody tried to actually tame you into being a more submissive being?
The majority of people I've met in my life has had that concept, and that's why it's never worked. And let me explain to you, I'm not a wild lion, so I don't need taming. Yeah,
no, I understand.
When you look at the word tame, it's out of control in behavior. So that's the thing. Once a man realizes he doesn't have to rise up against me, but stand with me, we're good. Because of my energy and strength and alpha ways, men tend to want to rise up against me. But when you get the 2% out of 100 that sees it and respects it and stands with me, we have no issue. Right. The issue stands, but the opposite men, we end up bickering because it's like I'm to respect you for your strength or your non-strength, and you need to respect mine. So I always find that men want that challenge with me, and it's not always healthy. Yeah, it's not always healthy.
Right. Okay. I'm not. What I'm trying to say to you, I'm not disputing anything you're saying. I'm trying to put out things there that how can I put it? We can stand as who we are. We're not going to falter from that. All right. We're not faltering from who we are.
Right.
But have you ever compromised yourself to stay with somebody? That do you understand? I know even though what you said, But has there ever been a time when you're like, you know what, and not necessarily, you know, I'm even putting this out to.
Let me answer the question, because the question's got to be in clarity, yeah? So have I ever compromised myself, my character, basically, you're saying, yeah? So this part is about, right, in order to sustain a relationship. Is that what you're asking? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I would say yes. And let me explain what I mean by that. One can look at that question and say, oh my God, I wouldn't. I think that's unwise. Because if you want to be you in all your ways, the negative and the positive, then stay by yourself, date yourself. You have to understand wisdom.
No, but it's true. It's true.
People have to understand this. There's knowledge and then there's wisdom. It's two different things.
Yeah.
Okay. As we progress, wisdom must speak and spirit must speak. So if I'm going to go on, like, I've got this way about me. Okay. And that's why I spend long periods of celibacy and singlehood. But you see, that can be a lifetime thing if I carry on. I have no issue attracting a man, but I'm always good by myself. I'm always like, you know what? I'm so good. You know me, Sandy, I'm great at dating myself. I will travel by myself. Like, but guess what? That's an attitude also that can be a turn-off.
Exactly.
Okay? A man can respect my independence when I reveal it, but also if I do not choose to soften in some of these ways, which is the compromise in some of these ways, they will just feel like, what have I got them there for? Well, to a degree. Okay. And the only time that comes out of me is when they're trying me or you're not leveling up. Then I will show you how I level myself up without you, because I'm good either way. And do you see what I'm saying? So the attitude is the compromise that I make. And that I'm still working on, because I know I'm real quick to shut a man down, real quick. I ain't got time to play. Listen, Sandy, man, I've been doing this thing from 17. You don't know. Listen, I'm at grandmother stage. I ain't got time for this.
I think we grow, and we do change. But also, in what you said, and I'd like to put this out to the people that's out there, because this is a gate crash, as we've said. You can gate crash anytime. I'm just going to look and see what I am. Gina, hi there.
Go on, Sandy, read the comments. You don't need me, man. It's your show. We read some comments. Right, so at the moment, we're talking about clearly the relationship itself.
This would refer to you. She said, Sandy, I am an alpha female as well, but I am conscious of toning it down. So that's
right. Who says that? Good evening.
I am Andrina Solomon. But hi, honey. Hi. Hello.
And hi, Bex.
She said that.
Right. So basically, what I'm saying to you is this. If you are suppressing yourself so much that you are losing yourself, let me explain something to you, guys. And I really want you lot to lock in with me on this point, because it's really important, I feel, okay? Lately, I have been choosing by choice to go through. Normally, when you have a metamorphosis and you're shedding skin and you're transitioning, it happens naturally, innit? Yeah? You accept the calling and you move accordingly, or you resist it. This time, I've called it upon myself. I'm choosing to make fundamental changes so that other seeds can be laid in fresh soil in areas I've never seen before. And that's the only way to get new, is by being you and having a rebirth of yourself on levels. All right. So that comes with also squashing a lot of the ego, or at least suppressing a lot of that will hinder you from these blessings. Okay. Now, I said to someone the other day, and I haven't shared this with you as well, Sandy, at this stage of my life, I'm willing to alter a lot more than I ever did before. And I'm surprised I'm saying that. Let me tell you why. Because normally the older you get is the more you're stuck in your ways. Yeah, which I am. But that's why I'm giving myself a new challenge to see how I'll be on the other side. Why have I done this? All right, guys, listen to this. You're going to view a property. All right. Who is the property? You and I. Work with me, everyone. I'm the property. You're the property. It's a brand new house. Or even if it's an old house, it's still your new property to you. Whatever holds up the property, the four pillars, the structure of the building is all we need to be secure. Guess what? People like me, and probably a lot of you watching, want to keep taking all the furniture we had before into every house we go to and call it a new place with everything that's old. That's the characteristics I'm talking about that needs to go. Okay? I looked at myself lately. I said, what's your problem, girl? So you know what it is? I'm attached to things. And the things are the characteristics that we have implemented and allowed society, media, parenting, and even yourself, even trauma, pain, and heartache to create characteristics in yourself. It's a whole fact. Let me reason with you guys. If you met someone, if this was your first time having a relationship, normally we're green, right? You don't have all the barriers. You don't need to. You never felt heartache, betrayal, or nothing. You're fresh. The doors are open. It's all about love, right? Work with me, guys.
I wish.
If we can meet people after trauma and upset and breakup with the same mentality, there'll be a lot more successful relationships. But what it is, we keep becoming remolded by our journeys. It's a fact. It's what helps shape us. It doesn't have to define us, but it helps shape us. So lately, I've been looking at myself.
I'm just saying, you can't deny what you can't deny to a degree is what helped shape us. You can't deny that.
You can't deny it, but here's the point I'm trying to make of you.
Yeah.
I am in a headspace, and it's very exciting as well as scary, but I'm challenging myself.
Okay.
And that means if I am the structure of the home, which is our character, the only thing I need to hold on to is the four pillars, the foundation that makes me me.
Me. Yeah, okay.
That can actually mean 80% can be gone. I can afford to lose.
Yeah.
Because that's just characteristics. It's just assets of characters we possessed that we hold on to that causes problems with friendships or relationships or family ships. So the question you're asking me, what am I prepared to compromise at this stage of my life? A healthy amount, my sister.
Okay. But you see, the thing is, one of the questions before this came on, I asked, there was something I saw. And when I saw it, I said to you, what are you willing, and it wasn't even compromise, what are you willing to give up just to sustain a relationship?
But I just answered that. All the characteristics that doesn't even serve. Here's what I do, and I'm going to make this easy for you lot to understand, yeah? The only thing I can do is share examples, okay? And guys, please feel free to give me your examples too. I'm going to read comments in a little while, me and Sandy.
That's why
I'm going to give you something
for them to give. What I want to say, I understood what you're saying, but I would like the people that are here to give their examles. Let them do that
in their own free will. In the meanwhile, I'm going to say what I'm saying. Let them do that in their own free will. I'm not going to force anybody to talk because they just want to see what that's what's going on right now. Yeah?
If they want to send a comment and say anything that they have given up in their own free will, I'd be very happy for them.
Absolutely. So in the meanwhile, I'm going to give you an example because I feel like this conversation, it's a gate crash, so I can talk away. It's not about Sandy's not being. In fact, it's not an interview, guys. And when you see gate crashes, you're going to see a lot more aggressive side of me because it's not a very soul connective and meditative talk that I normally have. It's gate crash. I'm louder. We're drinking. We turn up. Sandy's a dominant character, so I got to put my foot down with Sandy, and I can be rough with her. That's how we flex. So they're going to see a whole different side of me. For those who've never seen my lives, don't judge me on this one. Trust me. Go to my Wednesday live. I'm very different. Yeah. So what I wanted to share with you is this. I remember when I was 20 and I was going to get married. Okay, not at 20, but by 25. Thankfully, I didn't. Anyway.
Okay.
Answers your question. Two things. I was a smoker and I bit my nails. Okay. And the guy in question said, I don't really want to go up the eye of a woman that bites her nails or smokes. And I said, when you met me, I was a smoker. I intend to stop smoking for me. And it will benefit us in the end. But I must stop for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what compromise? I stopped smoking anyway. So the compromise is I'm willing to let go of anything within my power, which may take a lifetime to work on in some characteristics that's been there forever. Yeah. I'm willing to work on letting go and compromising anything that doesn't serve me, even as a solo woman. So with or without the man, I've still leveled up in myself. That's how I choose to see it. So therefore, I won't be losing anything, even if it means giving it up while they're in my presence for them, because it benefits me anyway.
All right, then. Do you know what I'm going to turn around and do? I asked you a question about yourself, and I'm going to tell you in respect of me. And this is just in respect to me. So let me just say this.
Go for it.
And there are times when I've compromised, not for the betterment of myself, but for the fact of just staying in that relationship, for maintaining a relationship.
Right.
All right. There are times, and that's when I lost who I was. And I started to completely lose who I was. So regardless of whether I bought a house and the 4 foundations I had, I started to chip away at them foundations.
Right. That's real. That's real.
One by one. And the foundations were not standing up. It didn't matter about what I held on to the past. The things that held on that I had in the past might have been things that were good. And they built character. But I disregarded those things and I took on a new, like an open-minded, open my mind to something. However, I didn't open it to the betterment of myself. I actually opened it up to the detriment of myself and losing who I was. And it's a struggle to claw my way back to who I am.
So let me ask a relevant question, and thanks for sharing that, because that's real, that's authentic, and I think a lot of us can actually reflect on that. So thanks for sharing that. So you altered yourself to that point of losing self, which I think a lot of us can relate to, because I've gone through other things that's had me feel that way in my life, you know. We can talk about that if you want as well. Was you afraid at the time of being alone, or was it just not wanting to start over? What was so paramountly important to you to hold on to that relationship to that degree? Tell us about that.
Do you know what? If I'm being honest, I don't even really know. When I look back on it, I just think what it was. I think I was raised as a girl that you should have a man, or you should have a partner. And if you didn't have a partner, your peers around you looked at you like you were some kind of, alien or somebody crazy. Why can't you have a woman? Look at you, Sandra. Look at you. People have said this to me throughout my whole life. Gosh, you're a good-looking girl. You're this, you're that. Why wouldn't any man who want you? You look like this. Look at you. Look at your body. Look at that. Any man who want you. I was wondering to myself.
And you are a beautiful woman. So yeah. I always tell you that.
But in the same breath, in my mind was, well, why isn't anybody wanting me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why isn't anybody wanting me? So when the one that wanted me, even if it was rubbish,
you held on to it. Yeah.
You understand? I'm holding on to it.
I do understand that. I do.
I would go, literally, you could get to the point where you're going to sell your soul.
Yes, girl. You know what, Sandy? I love talking to you. And the reason why I love talking to you, because no matter what, when we talk, and Sandy knows, guys, that I was doing free flowing thoughts before I think Instagram even existed, I'm sure. we were doing recordings, weren't we? Yeah.
Free flowing thoughts.
Yeah, we were doing it. And you know what, Sandy? You are always the only person that keeps it 100. You say things that no one's going to admit. And that's what I love and respect and salute you, because that's what it's about. And I'm always speaking from the soul. So you come and you just keep it real, and that people need to hear that.
I think sometimes people are afraid. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I do. And I think I even said, oh my God, Silver, what did I say?
No, don't take nothing back. No. Do you know what it is? Let me tell you something. The way you and I are in our transparency in different areas as well, it makes people uncomfortable because it's too honest.
Yeah.
So we must not change based on those who can't speak their truth. And it's not that we're trying to hang out our dirty laundry. This is a reasoning. This is one of my sole purposes, is to soul connect with people. So it's not for everybody. It's not, some people will only be viewers and that's fine, and some people will participate and that's also fine. So yeah. So okay, look, I would like to know, in terms of you saying, so now remember we're talking firstly now, we've gone back to front on the relationship we have with others. We can talk about what it's like with ourselves after, with the other way around. So as you spoke about that losing of self, can you share with us what that looked like? Like, did that mean not taking care of yourself? Did that mean that you drank? Did that mean you got into depression? Tell us what that looked like for you. if you don't mind sharing.
What it looked like a broken woman. It looked like a woman that had strength, but she couldn't display that strength because she was broken inside. I think there's a lot of people that knew I had this persona on. Geez, if you think, I don't know how to put it. If it's saying alpha female, I don't think I was alpha female. I think I was just like a crazy ass, almost bitch. You understand? You know, that type of thing. And it almost came across as with a masculine energy. Oh, nobody's going to touch me. Nobody's going to do anything to me.
You do have a slight masculine energy. Why? But you actually do. Plus, you like being. How tall are you?
I don't know. I'm 6 foot with my 6 inches, honey.
Really good for being 6 foot, like a big guy. Like, but anyway, let me not start all that. You love all that over me kind of thing.
I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8" without heels. I'm 6 something with them, so I'm all good. I'm all, you know that. I wear them 6 inches high, honey. I like to take it. Oh, we're not going into that one.
You like to take it 6 inches deep. I mean, the man ain't that big, but let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Yeah. I remember that poetry. But anyway, carry on.
But I think it just looked like somebody that was broken, and then you suppress so much that and you can suppress it for years. And then when it resonates in such a nasty way that you are actually attacking people that you have no reason to attack, you know? And that's how it looked. Well, for me, that's how it looked. I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for myself. That you suppress what happens is you don't compromise anything for somebody. You actually suppress everything. You suppress anything you're feeling. You don't do it. You just. Is that
like numbing and removing yourself from the present emotion? Then, yeah.
Literally. And it's almost like you might as well be a Stepford wife. Is that, you know, you might as well just be a Stepford wife or something like that. Yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags for, sir. You know?
So may I ask, alongside that, just to strengthen that point, did age have anything to do with it in terms of, did you feel like, well, if that was the one person that paid the interest in me, plus the age, I just got to settle down and make the most of it. Did all that come into play?
I mean, when you mean age, what you talking? Sorry.
Like, you know, when you're younger, you have a philosophy of, I've got them so young, so I can always start over, which I still have to a degree, that philosophy. But coming to my 40s and now heading towards mid 40s.
Okay, for me, the relationship I had young ruined everything for me thereafter. Literally ruined everything for me thereafter. I was scarred completely. Ruined everything for me thereafter.
You want to tell us a bit about that?
No, really, I've told you as much as I want to tell you. The relationship I had as a young woman, who is the father of my child.
Okay.
And I was married to them. Literally ruined everything for me thereafter. I had
so that was damaging.
Yeah.
Okay.
No issue. I had no trust for anybody. Somebody once told me. A guy once turned around and said to me. He said, "You know what, Sandra? You give so much, but you're not willing to accept anything." And it made me stop it. I was like, "What?" And I thought,
why is that, Sandy?
Well, I don't know why that is. That's what he told me. And it made me stop.
Do you feel like you are undeserving of good treatment?
It's not that I thought I was undeserving. What it was is I just put up that wall. I'm not going to get hurt. So no matter what happens, I will give everything. I'm not willing to receive your love because I don't accept it. I don't believe it. I don't trust it. So if I don't believe it and I don't trust it, then what's to hurt me?
So would you say that currently you still have trust issues and based on past trauma?
I don't think I have trust issues now. What I feel is, like I said, I think I mentioned this before, is I just don't particularly like myself in a relationship. That's what it is, because I still don't, I don't.
But is that because you haven't met the right alignment for you, so where you can flourish as yourself? Or is that because you are in a state of mind where you believe, whether it's behavior or characteristics, should we say, it's not going to be acceptable in any relationship? Because think about what you're saying. You don't like yourself in relationships. where a lot of us would say that we thrive a lot more being in stable relationships. So what is that about for you?
Well, maybe it's been the fact that I haven't, maybe it has been the fact that I haven't met somebody that that I would trust enough to open up enough to them.
So it is trust issues. If you're going back to trust, it is trust issues.
Absolutely, it's trust. Absolutely, the core of everything is trust. And if I don't trust, I don't think I have trust with anybody.
Do you trust yourself?
There you go.
No, it's a closed question.
No.
It's a yes or no. Do you trust yourself?
I do.
Okay, so listen to this very carefully. Guys, you know how we speak about people that break our trust and people's word is bond? How many times have you not lived up to your own expectation right? So there,
101 times.
Right, so therefore you can't trust yourself. Yeah? Think about that. And this is where I'm at, you lot. We place so much anticipation and expectation on everybody, on somebody else. And that's what we do in human nature. But in fact, we constantly cheat on ourselves. We constantly shortchange ourselves.
Yeah.
We constantly demand of ourselves and break our own bonds. I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm not going. I'm going to, whatever it is. So if you look at it in effect, the trust issues is with us, within ourselves, with ourselves.
I don't disagree with that. I think absolutely you asked me a question, do I trust myself? There's certain things I trust myself with, absolutely, 100% there are. But they're like the things that you said, do I trust myself? Oh, today I'm not going to have a drink. Bam, I don't do it. Don't do it. Right?
That's just different, isn't it?
That nonsense. I gotta stop. If I'm going to trust myself, I need to put trust issues on myself.
Right.
That are truly soul affecting to me.
Right.
What I need to do. I need to. There are times what I've done is I turn around and I said I used to be around people and so on, and I said, you know what? Let me step away.
Right.
I need to step away from people because do you know what I need to do? I need to, because sometimes the things that I'm going through is I can only trust myself in that situation. I can't put myself in a bubble for me not to say something, because you know me, I can be loose cannon, right? I might say something, not intentionally to hurt anybody or anything like that, but I can just be a bit too real. I'm not going out there. I don't got if I'm going out to hurt somebody, I'm going out. If somebody hurts me and they hurt me, and there's some people on here that know that, and you push me to a degree that you know I'm going to come back at you. And there's other times when even in that situation, I have to trust myself not to go there. I don't need to go there. But what I need to say to you is this, I need to come off for a second. All right.
I was just going to ask God.
1 second and I'll be back. So please, if anybody else wants to come on.
Go for it. I'm just going to ask somebody to give you a moment, give you a break. Thank you, Sandy. Go and come back. Is there anybody else that wants to jump on the live and speak about the relationship they have with others versus the one they have with their self? It would be interesting to hear other people's perspective. That can mean, the relationship you have with yourself can mean how you choose to maintain a healthy balance with yourself. What are some of the ritualistic things that you do to keep yourself sane and balanced and healthy and aligned, depending on especially if you're very spiritually active, and what are the pros and cons to you when you are in a relationship versus when you are single? Do you find that you flourish a lot more in a relationship, or do you find yourself feeling stifled and you need to be free and have lots of time on, more so on your own? So what kind of person are you? What kind of relationship do you have with yourself versus the one you have with others? And others can mean family. It can mean friends. Although predominantly we talk about others in regards to relationship. So I don't know. Guys, come on, jump in the live. Come in the live. Feel free. Yes, I am, says the feeling of unworthiness. Yeah, that can creep in when you keep getting let down and let down and let down, or things just don't seem to work out. Right, you say maybe you haven't compromised to the degree. No, maybe you haven't compromised to the degree that you thought. I'm not sure if that's relating to me or Sandy. Yeah, I think it's probably Sandy's question, because you say that's real. Our parents groomed us for marriage from the womb. Well, some parents, not every, it depends on your doctrine and how you're raised and stuff. Right, you also say, great question, Sandy. I'm an alpha female as well, but I'm conscious. Okay, Sandy read that. Yeah, me too. I am, me too. Yeah. So Billy, you say that's cute. Being real is what counts, and that's what you like. Billy, do you want to come back in? And do you have good signal, or you're going to be buffering all over the place because you're all the way in Ghana? I'd love to speak to you. Chi, where are you? Are you going to pull up on the live and gate crash and come in? Because it seems like my only speaker, Sandy, has gone and plan on coming back. It was to Sandy. Okay. Are you coming in this live, Miss I Am? So, yeah. So while Sandy's gone, and she's my only active speaker at the moment, I would have thought you'd heard enough of my voice by now, but clearly not, because no one's coming to rescue me. Sandy, are you coming back? Where are you? What are you doing in the comments box? Bring your ass back in here. As no one else is coming to talk. All right, so in the meanwhile then, let me share what it's like with the relationship with myself. How would I describe that? I would definitely say conscious. And that can mean, even if it's turbulent within myself or on a roller coaster, or I've had a dip in vibration and energy, I'm conscious. And that can mean, like this morning, I woke up, I felt so overwhelmed by unnecessary chatter in my mind. I felt overwhelmed. I gave myself a headache. And I could feel the creeping of the disintegration with my oneness with myself. And I lied there for about an hour, and it was an hour almost wasted because it was so much monkey brain, you know, white noise. It's things in my mind that was so didn't need to be there. So I got up, burnt some sage, set a beautiful bath as I did with flowers and roses and whatever else in my bath, you know, lavender oil, sandalwood, whatever, and put on some jazz, because you know jazz allegedly has a frequency that expels negative energy out of yourself and even within your home, allegedly, based on the frequency pattern it has. Sorry, so I played some jazz, got out my bath, moisturized. You know, when you take time on yourself properly, usually when you're in a mood you don't want to do any of that beauty stuff. I done my eyebrows, I done my nails, and I done all that being in a not so good place this morning. Yeah, but you see how I counteracted it. And then whilst I was moisturizing, I had this thing, guys, maybe a bit TMI, but especially when I want to go deep into soul connection, I like to do stretching and yoga in the nude. So I was moisturizing myself with beautiful coconut oil in the nude, doing my stretching and my yoga. I got disturbed by my telephone, which I don't usually let happen. And I got into my body stretching and affirmation, and I put on prayers, and it just expelled so much of that negative energy that was swirling around me, just overwhelming of life sometimes. And sometimes it's a backlog of stuff that you haven't even looked at because you're on the go and it comes full force. So when I talk about the dip, that was a dip that I had this morning, and I'm feeling so much better because I chose to tap into what I know was going to help me. It doesn't mean it's eradicated 100%, but it's a good 80%, maybe 75. So I would say I have a conscious relationship with myself. And whoever's trying to come in the live, give me 2 minutes now. I'm just in the middle of explaining something. And versus what I'm like in a relationship, definitely challenging. I'll save the rest for the next person that wants to come in. Is that Sandy returning? Hello, welcome back. I don't know if you know what I was sharing, but I was talking about.
I heard you. I heard
you.
Yeah.
I was talking about the relationship I have with myself, because it's very easy to talk about what you're like with your family and your friends and relationship, but when you speak from a solo isolation perspective, it gets real. You know, why you have the thoughts you do, why we entertain the things we do. And interestingly enough, the last thing I wanted to do was go through all the bother of taking out roses out my bath and the long process. But I thought that's what you need, Silver. Put in that time. Because if I was setting it for a man, I would have done it. Do you see my point? The time you put in for other people, overdo that for yourself.
If you
know,
back to almost like when we sort of touching on loving yourself, I think there was something that you said the other day, and I actually did come back and say to you, you know what? I need to get back into showing myself love. I used to buy myself flowers and put in my house, and I used to walk past my flowers and smile. I said, yeah, you know what? Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling good. Right, I'm feeling good. And I used to have, you know, set the candles, put the music, you know, get myself ready, you know, mentally. And would
that be for you, or when you have a man around?
Put the phone down. Oh, she said, put the phone down. Right. Mentally ready for, you know, for no, not because I'm having a man around. The man that's coming around, his name is Sandy. You understand me?
Yes, girl. Sandy, right? Yes, I love it. I love it.
Coming around, it's Sandy. And then when I'm
I love it.
Like you said, you know, I go moisturize my skin. Then I'll go lay down on my settee by myself with my wine and myself, and I romance my ass. You understand me?
I love it. I love it.
Cook myself.
I love it.
Dinner, get it prepared, sit down, and just romance myself and have an
evening
with myself. Me, myself, and I. There was 3 of us there. I like a threesome.
I love it.
Myself and I. We was all there.
I love it. Just a moment, Sandy. For the guys who's leaving the comments in the box, we will definitely take a moment to read it in the next 5 minutes. But if I keep, I'm not gonna, you know, keep kindly. So give it a moment, and I'll definitely have a look at it. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, guys. And if anyone else that wants to come in at some point, let us know. But you know, I shared this on my live last week, and I'm going to share it on this one. And this is quite paramount, and I'd like to share this with you, Sandy. I don't know if you heard me say this to you. 2 weeks ago, as I do, but this time is very paramount, I booked myself into a hotel for 2 days. And although I'm dating someone, I booked it by myself. And what that's about is, whilst I'm in any kind of connected relationship, I have to be in a deeper connected one with myself. So here I'm going back to the relationship I have with myself. I never have an expectation of anybody. I never do. I expect from myself. What I have with other people is desires, wants, maybe needs, but it's never an expectation, okay? So what I know is I know how to break my own heart real good. Yeah. Okay? I say it with a smirk on my face, but it's not because I'm really smiling because it's pleasurable, but Sandy, I know where I'm going with this conversation. Me and you are real, Sandy, okay? I know how to break. Listen to me, people. Half the time when we're talking about heartache and trauma, we know a lot of it's self-inflicted. We got those signals, babies. You know you did, and you just didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
Okay, we know half the time what's going on when we go forth in things and we don't take heed because we want what we want. Okay, and there's a difference between what the universe wants for us or the Most High and what you want. 2 different things. The minute you're honest with that, we will stop breaking our heart as much as we do. Anyway, so I booked myself in this hotel. I pulled up, I bought a bunch of flowers, and I don't buy flowers for decor for the house. I buy it because it's significant about me nurturing myself and growing. And when it dies, I instantly get rid of it. It's about detaching when things no longer work. It's very symbolic for me. So I bought my roses, Sandy. although it was a walk-in shower, I thought, how am I going to do this? And, you know, but I thought, okay, I laid out roses in the shower. I broke off the roses, I went through all of that, put it all over me, had a beautiful ritual flower shower.
Romance in the silver.
Mm-hmm.
Romance in the silver.
Yes. Wet my crown and I actually said, girl, this is you. I really did.
Hold on a minute. Did you have any toys with you?
No, the only toy I had was my imagination. Okay. I brought significant things. 3 things with me. Mm-hmm. Myself, mm-hmm. my candles, mm-hmm. and my flowers. Yeah. Hi, Mels.
What more you need? What else would
right? And let me tell you something. To some people, that could be like, that's weird. My manager was like, that's a waste of money. Why would you go to a hotel by yourself? That's the problem. We have too much attachments. And I said to him, but you smoke. Is that not a waste of money? So why can I not pay for a hotel from me to have time out? I'm very adventurous. I get bored very quickly of homework, especially through lockdown. I can't travel or nothing. But I've always been one to go to spa hotels, even in London when lockdown wasn't happening. Anyway, so I went, Sandy, and I'm like this. If I'm with somebody that is as adventurous as me and as generous with their own pockets as I am with my own, or furthermore more, because you're a man, yeah?
Oh, that's a whole different conversation.
No, we're going to have that another time, trust me, okay? But I'm concerned, at least 8 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10, you will come with me. But if you're not like that, and you're just like going to jump on my bus, because it's what I like to do, you will find that I don't really invite you. I'll book my own stuff and I will go.
Nala Larkley just said, yes, financially ready to look after yourself. There you go.
But at the same time, don't get it twisted. Yeah. A man needs to be leveled up, preferably more than I am. A man is a man and a woman's a woman. We're going to have that talk another day anyway, Sandy, because depending on what background you are from, you're going to see things very different.
Yeah.
Yeah? So financially able or progressively able to do you, absolutely. But if you're actually dating someone that's not even doing themselves, all right, Andy, okay, or they're on what you're on, I will downgrade you. You're not really going to be coming with me. You just see me saying, babe, I'm off. And I see, because that's just what I'm like. I'm being real with you. Yeah? So, Sandy. Yeah.
Nala, so I'm just reading some of the comments. Nala said, regardless whether you're a man or a woman, or you're a woman, or whoever you're with, you should do you need to do you.
Do you? That's right.
Do you? Do you?
Nala,
you need to go. You need to join. Come down. I know you're ready to. You can join.
But that's what I'm saying to you, Sam. That's why I have to share this story, because when you level up yourself to the best of your own self in that moment, every year will be another level for you.
Do you know what I find? What's really weird? When I started to do it, took me a while, because we're always. I can only. Sorry, I'm babbling. But
no, go for it. For yourself.
When I said before, I was kind of conditioned to be with somebody. I was raised to be with somebody, and it's not necessarily. This is not necessarily by my parents. This was just by what was going on around me. I was conditioned to to feel a certain way and be a certain way until I had my own thought patterns. Until I could start allowing my thought patterns to come into my head, and not only allowing them, but making them resonate. There's a difference between allowing them in and resonating them and letting them resonate. So I think the other thing was when I first took my own holiday by myself. Through a trauma. It was through an incident which was traumatic. And I had a child at the time, a young child, and I had to go and ask my parents, listen, I don't need you to ask me no questions. I'm fine. There's something I need to do, and I need you to watch your grandchild. They turn around and they will start to ask me questions. This is your child. This is my kind of, like, to a degree, the mentality of my parents. They were good parents with the knowledge that they had, so I'm not going to that. Oh, but this is your child and you should be looking after him. Da, 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 da. Then my next thing was this: I've got a friend that will look after him. Now what?
Straight up. Yeah. Yeah.
I need to go.
Yeah. Typical Caribbean parents, isn't it?
And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So I left and I went somewhere by myself. And then from then, that is when I really realized that I could be by myself. Because you can be in this country and go somewhere by yourself, but when you're in a foreign land, you're by yourself. That's when you recognize that you can be by yourself, and that's when you can start to have a relationship with self. Because that's when you really and don't get me wrong, the relationship might not end up being good. It might not.
I don't think you have to be in another country. I think being in another country just challenges your dynamics of yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No matter where you are, you can't escape yourself. So I think it just challenges what you're capable of, or what scares you when you're those challenges.
But even before that, what I was going to say, I actually went after that holiday, what I started to do was, like you, I started to go out, book a restaurant by myself.
Yeah, that's bold. That's bold.
By myself, sit there with myself drinking. And people used to come up to me, and men particularly, and I have to say this, it was particularly older and it was white men, used to come up to me because the certain places I used to take myself is places I wanted to be. And I worked for my money and I'm going to that place. All right, I'm going places like Mayfair. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to eat because I know I've got the money to pay for it. All right. And then they're coming and sitting there and they're saying to me, oh, has anybody got this seat? And I'm like, no. Do you mind if I sit? I was even like, no, it didn't bother me. And I actually
that's really bold.
People that I would never have thought. I met a plastic surgeon in Mayfair. Ooh. Different people I got to meet and enjoyed conversations with. And it also challenged me where I thought I wouldn't be able to converse with somebody where I thought their intellect was far higher than mine.
Right.
But so that is also where you are having a relationship with self as well.
Absolutely. That's a good example.
And to see that you're pushed, sometimes you can be afraid of being put in a different circumstance where you feel that somebody is academically more intelligent than you.
Right.
How they got it on paper.
See, as a young person, that doesn't, but as an adult, that doesn't faze me at all. But on that point, so someone says, is it Nala? I think being home is the biggest challenge. In what way would you say being home? Is in back home in your country, or you mean here by yourself? Like, can you expand upon that?
I know exactly what she means, but I'm going to let her expand. I wish she would come in and speak about it.
Because the last comment you made was independence is sexy. So now you're dropping this one. I'm thinking, there's that contradiction there. So let us know what you mean by that.
Come on, you wouldn't mind. Come on, join. I think Nala is very much from me. She's a wonderful free spirit, gorgeous girl. She was thriving in the last couple of weeks when I saw her, absolutely thriving. The way her energy is. Oh my God, she's so full of life, So even like you said, in relationships you have with people and friends, and stuff as well. This is somebody that I know, and she's a wonderful spirit, absolutely amazing. To be around her, it like ignites my creative juices for some
That's
reason.
A beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. So look, let me ask you. What would you say the pros and cons are when being? Let's talk about the pros in terms of being in a relationship. What would you say? Give me like the top. I don't know, your top 3 or 5 pros of being in a relationship.
Okay,
Let me talk about the cons.
I think it's time for me to go.
No, come on, dig deep.
Oh my gosh, dig deep.
Bearing in mind, Sandy. We are taught that we're supposed to, we're taught and everyone's going to get married and but it's not like that. Not everyone's going to own a business, have a baby or get married. So to be honest, some people marry the churches, So not everyone is going to end up with a partner or even the one that they really, really, really want.
I can tell you what the pros are that I would like. And that would be to be able to share. And that would be able to share an experience, to share a feeling, to share my thoughts with. That would be one of the pros. The other pro is simply to have a warm body. I like a warm body against my back. I like
is that companionship then?
No, that's a warm body against my back, holding me and making me feel safe. That would be a pro in it for me. Is that affection, or we've got companionship? What are we entitling it here? That's affection, but that's making me feel safe. That sort of thing, that's making me feel safe. The other thing would be, the pros. Those are the pros.
So the pros are affection.
Yeah. Trust.
Security. You mentioned safe, so security.
Security.
What else would you say? Are you allowed to talk about your ideals, even though, you know, we're allowed to say, even if it hasn't happened, those ideals of what you feel is the pros of whether you've, you know, experienced it, or maybe you know someone else has experienced it, what the pros look like to you and what that would be for you.
I'm going to be honest. If you want me to be honest, I don't think I've seen any pros, right? To be honest.
Okay, and that's honest. So let's talk to you then. Let's talk about the cons. And what are the cons in being?
I'd rather you speak about yours. If I'm being honest with you, I think for me, because if I tell you,
how can you say you'd rather me speak about mine? We're on the freaking live talking about it both ways. You mad?
The reason why I don't want to go into that is because going back to what I said, I have a lack of absolutely no trust. I have no trust.
Okay, so Sandy, let's focus. What is the cons of being in a relationship then? You can't give any pros, so therefore you're single for a reason. Yeah, that suits you at this point of your life. What are the cons?
The only thing I want to focus on is the pros. I don't want to focus on anything else. So if I'm focusing on the pros, then I'm focusing on stability. I'm focusing on stability. I'm focusing on security. I'm focusing on honesty, and I'm focusing on trust, and I'm and sharing. So that's fine.
That's so hard, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. That's it. That's
so hard, Sandy.
Yeah, that'll be what I'll be focusing.
All right. So let me give you what I think is the pros. For me, it's companionship.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can have, I guess, you can call it partner, you can call it lover, you can call it wife and husband, and it can be so absent in companionship. It can be so absent in intimacy, but you have someone to say, I've got someone. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I feel like the pros are when you really have an exchange intimacy. That can mean also companionship, intimacy. If one can have it, that enlightened sexual chemical exchange where you are creating a whole poetic storyboard based on your lovemaking, if you got it like that, okay? That can mean affection, someone to communicate on a deeper realm with, you know, someone you can have that kind of soul connectivity with, and someone you can...
That's funny. I need to ask you something. Sorry to interrupt you, but as you came into that, there's something I really need to ask you, because I've seen on your posts where you say something about twin
flame.
Yeah, what does that mean? I don't understand that. What is that? What does that
mean? You see, people use a lot of...
I just need to say this to you. The reason I'm asking is because I've never come across that term. So
well, you see, and I'm going to let Google also back me up with this. The difference that, you know, it's the difference between twin flame and soulmate. People say that soulmates people say you can have multiple soulmates. People say your soulmate could be your friend if you like. Which is apparently someone who resonates your soul, you know, which I guess, you know, you can see it like that. However, people see soulmates, I don't know. I like twin flame, if you ever experience it. It almost is like a twin version of, it could be your spirit, it could be, there's so many meanings, renditions of twin flame. So let me go to, and sometimes you believe you've met a twin flame, and maybe later on you realize they're not your twin flame, but they're still your partner, you know, and So I think everyone's looking for a soulmate, but it doesn't always. Sometimes you meet people, you have great relationships. They don't have to be your soul mate, where they your rekindled spirit from another place, and it doesn't have to always be that deep unless you are trying to get that deep. So let's hear what Google has to say. Okay. Twin flame definition.
Somebody said one
mind body green. A twin flame is an intense soul connection, sometimes called a mirror soul, thought to be a person's other half. It's based on the idea that sometimes one soul gets split into two bodies.
Okay, so that's what I mean, in someone who resonates you in that soul perspective. So someone who mirrors your soul. One soul that's been split into two bodies. That's how much you have that resonation.
Somebody just said one person split into two.
That's what it says on Google. Yeah, but there's many renditions. You don't have to feel like one person's really split into two. It's a mirroring of your soul. It's your twin flame. If you've ever experienced that or someone has it, then you are very blessed. If you ever met your soulmate, you're also very blessed. But bearing in mind, people can have many, apparently, renditions of soulmates. So that means it's very disposable and very accessible. So it makes no difference to me having a regular guy if I can have many soulmates.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not that exclusive. So it just depends on how you see it. But I love twin flame. I have a tattoo on the back of my neck, actually. That looks like the figure 8. And it's got angel wings and a halo. And that actually is a sign of infinity and twin flame tattoo. So it depends on how you see it.
I don't know if I'd like me. Split two.
But you know what? How you choose to see it, you know. But
you see, I think it's something that I think sometimes even. Do you know what? Sometimes words have meanings. Sometimes words, sayings have meanings to ourselves, but the definition is different to what we feel it is. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, because sometimes we can look up a definition of a word, but the way we receive it and the way we feel about it is not, and it's not completely the same as the reality of it.
And that's why people that are always running away from the word judge, they've not really looked it up. It just means strong opinion. So therefore I do judge. That's all it means, is strong opinion. And everyone has an opinion at different strengths.
Well, exactly, that's true.
But let's hit some more calls before we round it up, because time's going so quickly.
I know.
And I feel like we haven't even covered a quarter of it, but we're just flowing anyway. And it's Gate Crash. So where's your drink, Sandy? Let's get our drinks. What are you drinking, girl? Where's your drink at?
I'm drinking the wine, girl. I'm still drinking.
Yeah. What are you guys drinking? Viewers, it's Friday. Where are you? Guys, in the comments box, let me know where are you? What part of the world are you in right now? London, Ghana, America, where are you? And what are you drinking? Are you drinking anything? Tea, beverage, whatever? I feel like I'm getting hay fever in in January.
You're drinking tea. Where's that vodka you had?
Here you go. I was drinking merengue roots tea. I needed to calm myself down. It's been one of those days, so now I'm gonna drink this. So guys, what do you feel so far? What do you think so far of what Sandy and I have been discussing? It's meant to be Gate Crash, but it's all right. Sandy's always a superstar. She's the main one that pulled up. One other person was supposed to come and yeah, right. But anyway, Sandy, you're a G. You are a G. Trust me. Cheers, girl. You know, I didn't give you the cons, did I, of being in a relationship?
No.
Really, there ought to be no cons. But the reason why we can come up with cons is because the cons is within ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right? Because if we were different, every relationship would be perfect, according to us adapting. Yeah? Let me read that comment. London, and I'm drinking, what's that blue signal? I can't blue. Kim, what is that, Sandy? Hi, Kim. What is that, Sandy?
I can't see that. Hold on, I'm just looking.
That blue symbol.
London, and I'm drinking water.
What's the drink? Water. Ah, that's the healthiest drink. That's the drink some for me. Drink some for me.
I'm drinking water too, but they call it fire water. All right, so that's the difference. We drink a little bit of fire water.
Kim, you're drinking government juice, mate. Yeah? The best drink in the world, water. But so here's the cons. And as I was saying, Sand, I must be honest and say, if I can find a con, the opposite of positive in being in a relationship, that it would be more about the person who says it. Because every relationship, there's someone out there that's going to find what we don't like totally fine and totally acceptable. They're going to find that same horrible man wonderful according to who they are.
Yeah.
So if I was to find a con that reflects really for my own self, it would be, I really seem to struggle to meet men in my course of life that have no issue with emotion, like real communication. Active communication, because you can talk at someone, but talking with someone is totally different.
Or to somebody, you know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So real communication, there's always often an issue where I can't say what I really feel, either based on the sexuality or based on them not leveling up. And like I'm not supposed to tell them that I've downgraded them or why I've downgraded them. Like I'm not supposed to tell them what I don't like in my own house or in their house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought the cons would be, what else would I say? I guess the expectations people place. And as I say, I don't expect from anyone, but there is a strong desire, and that strong desire can also be a negative. Because it means that when I don't see things moving progressively or to a level that, remember, I date myself.
Yeah.
So if I'm dating myself always, whether I'm a good date or a rubbish date sometimes with myself, yeah, and they are dating me under how I date myself, it's like I can't rock with you.
Yeah.
That's my con within myself. Because imagine something, you're taking yourself out, you're going here, you pay for flights for yourself, you do all these things, you treat yourself, you go spas, all the things I like to do with myself when I can. You aren't come dry, come turn up in my life dry. Come to my house, long hand most nights.
I think, you know, it's really, it's a very difficult, it's not difficult. I think, you know, sometimes sometimes I don't even find that we set standards are too high. It's just a respectability of standard. You've seen, one of the things, I remember I used to say this, I don't remember I used to say this, to earn your man, learn your man.
I love that.
Learn your woman.
I love that.
Sometimes when you start a relationship, even though you know, it's that hard, you know, bubbles are bursting and everything, you're on a lust, you know, you're just on a high.
Yeah.
You have to be quiet in the beginning, because you need to learn that person. You need to know when to be quiet and see certain things that person does. See, you know, you could turn around and say, you know what, I like I said before to you, the person turned around and said to me, their favorite chocolate is double decker. Done. Mm-hmm. That's been stored in my brain.
But you see, Sandy, I love that about you. I'm just saying, but the minute I see, and this could be seen bad to people, that you are more taking and you're not considerate of who I am and who I tell you I am, I will downgrade you. That double decker will be once a year now. Mm. I will downgrade you because I'm very generous. I give of myself. So if I see that you're just collecting, and there's no consideration for me as a woman, I will downgrade that and not do as much, okay, and continue to nurture myself. Because I do feel, especially women, more than I feel men, you overgive to others and not yourself, to yourself.
Yeah. So
you're going to set that hot, beautiful bath with all the trimmings for that guy, but don't do that because you can't bother for yourself.
But is that because which will go back to what I was saying, is that because men have been almost doctrined into believing that that's not what they should be doing? That they don't they don't know how to take care of themselves. You see, I'm not telling you, Oh God, it's really weird. And you know, if there's men out there, you can come and attack me. I'll be glad for you to attack me, because you know what, it's all good.
What do you want to say? Come on.
It's literally like,
as we wind down the live.
You know what? I just feel like the way that men kind of take care of themselves is almost to the point of disrespecting women. And when I say that in taking care of themselves, is that they will go out and have about 5 or 6 women, and that's how they believe is taking care of them.
And they can't take care of not one of them. This is what gets,
you know,
this is what I'm saying to you. They can't take care of none of them.
But they're not taking care of the women. They're taking care of themselves. Whereas you.
But you know something, Sam. I'm going to say this as a disclaimer. Yeah, I'm going to say this as a disclaimer. You see how men are. A man once told me way back. He said, Silver, remember, we come out of you.
That's what I say to them. And
you go from mum to a woman, and she nurtures us the way that she wants to be treated. If that's bullshit, that's what we're used to giving her. So you have to understand, for an example, when I was a young girl and I did not leave the first time, I was fretting, and the first time the man put me in a headlock, with a knife to my throat. Okay? Yeah. I was a young girl. Yeah?
Again.
We can talk about that. We can do domestic violence talk next time. We can get into that. Yeah? Yeah. When I did not leave the first time, I was teaching him how to treat me. Think about what I'm saying. I take full responsibility for everything that I've experienced personally. If a man doesn't see that you are not going to stand for certain things and you remain around them, they have no reason to change. Here's what I'm saying to you. No, listen. It's a very paramount and personal thing I'm sharing. Okay?
I don't disagree.
Right? It's a very paramount and personal statement I'm making right now for a reason. So you don't have to agree with me, but I want to share my truth with you. Okay?
Bruce said, I'm attacking you as I know how to take care of myself and one woman.
Hi, Bruce. I was up in your inbox today.
Okay.
Brucey, I was in Bruce's inbox today. But anyway, let me finish what I was saying because it's very personal to me. Yeah. And I'm sharing it for a message of teaching, not just to air out laundry. Women, we spend a lot of time talking about what men are not. And we don't take any responsibility for how we nurtured men, from mother to woman.
Yeah.
When the guy, as a youngster, as a younger woman, he'd had multiple girls he'd done this to. None of them reported him. Why would he change? Now, maybe if the first woman reported him and he went and done time, he wouldn't have done it to me. You see where I'm going? Because someone would have taught him that this is not how you treat me.
This is true.
So what I'm trying to say to you is, I'm not taking accountability for anyone's state of mind. But what I'm saying to you is, we must take accountability for how we nurture the men in our lives.
We have to take accountability for what we've allowed.
Take accountability for what you put up with,
Exactly. For what we repeatedly allow to happen to us.
Okay.
To a degree. You understand me?
Right? And you know what it is? That in itself sounds like victim talk. So I'm not going to take it as no victim. The minute you get the signs or the red flag, you have an opportunity to leave. You're no longer a victim when you stay there and you keep allowing something to happen, in my opinion. So that's just me giving you one reference of truth to say to you that, you know, men be men, women be women. We mature quicker than men in many ways, you know, but just to round up the live, and it's unfortunate that nobody else wanted to talk on this live, but I'm so grateful to Sandy. Sandy's so real, so honest, and so sharing. And Sandy, as we wrap it up, is there anything that you feel that you'd like to add? Or you'd like to ask?
Well, I would have liked to have asked, you know, it would be, you know, sometimes it's very easy. It's not very easy. It seems very natural, and it seems very obvious that women are the ones that are talking. We would love for the guys to come out and talk. We would like for you, so if you are willing to. I'm not forcing anybody. Yes, actually, yes, I am. I'm forcing somebody.
Well, I was in Bruce's inbox this evening and I invited him on.
Come Bruce. We will talk.
But I've got to wrap it up shortly. You know, I've got a date with myself shortly.
You're dating yourself.
And I'm going to share myself with my other date, which is not with myself. I've got 2 dates tonight, technically, with myself and with the person I'm dating. Imagine that shit.
Let me not even get into that one. Let's leave it.
But,
thank you. You know what? No, I don't think there's anything else I'd like to add. I think it would be nice if was with a client. Oh, what does that mean? Anyway.
Bruce, every Bruce I come across is a very naughty boy. What are you like? Let me pick on Bruce though. Bruce, are you naughty boy? It's like people always naughty.
Do you know what? There's some names that just sound manly. Bruce, innit? Bruce.
Oh, you know names like Junior? They just sound so bad. Names like Junior. They just sound like bad breed. Sandy, you've been amazing. Thank you for coming in here today and saving the day. I appreciate, respect, and salute you for always sharing from a real, genuine place.
All right. No, I'm glad we were able to have this chat.
Your PT, you know, Bruce.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad we were able to have this chat. So, I think, you know what, I think hopefully it could be done again in a different forum where other people will be able to come and speak their truth as well, and not be afraid to speak their truth. So I'd be glad for that. Thank you very much. It made my Friday night. Good.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Of course, Sandy, after this lockdown, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And come around here, have drinks. I'll come around there, have drinks. We go out, we film, we do all this fun stuff. But before I go, guys, next week, Friday, I have a Wednesday live, but that's still to be confirmed for the gentleman that was on this, Billy that was on earlier. But next Friday, we have bereavement conversation. And it's going to be very different to how I normally do all my lives. It's going to go straight into bereavement conversation. And so far I have about 5 people that's going to come on and talk about their personal experiences with bereavement. If any of you watching this would like to come and talk about your bereavement journey, or perhaps you are with or around someone, even if it's family or friend, that's going to be transitioning and that they are transitioning and heading to that place, you still are welcome to come and talk if you want to. If there's anyone also, I'm looking for someone who is a bereavement counselor or coach or support worker, that would be great to also have your perspective. But you are welcome to inbox me if you'd like to share that. And anybody else that I will be contacting, I'll speak to you next week. We can arrange some dates in February. If anyone here wants to come and do live talk, February is totally open. We can do bookings, talk about anything you want. Any topic goes as long as it flows, right, Sandy?
Yep. Free flowing and
free flowing thoughts, yeah? So thank you all for joining us. Sandy, you're amazing.
Thank you. So are you.
And I'll speak to you soon. Peace and love, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.